My brother punched me and stopped talking to me for 10 years because his wife called me trash. Yesterday, My name is Emily and I'm a waitress at a diner in Boston. I'm 26 years old. They were laughing, but not in a friendly way. It was a cruel laugh meant to hurt me. She's paying and we're winning, my mother said with a smirk, holding a glass of wine. Who cares if she goes hungry? My father didn't hesitate. She's useless. She doesn't deserve to have the house anyway. I stood in the hall in my work uniform, the smell of fried food still on my skin after my third job that day. The mortgage I had been working so hard to pay was no longer mine. The documents were already signed. They had given the house deed to my sister as a gift. My hard work was erased like it never happened. I didn't walk into the room. I didn't give them the satisfaction of seeing how sad I was. I just went up the stairs quietly because being quiet meant they had no idea what I was about to do. At the time, I thought family was a promise. I was wrong. When the mortgage first came up, they told me, it's for all of us. We just need some help to keep it. I had just graduated from college and had a lot of debt. But I said yes because they were my parents. Because that house was the background of my childhood. With birthdays, burnt turkeys on Thanksgiving, and the dent in the hall from when my sister Anna and I played tag inside. They promised me security. Instead, they gave me debt. The warning signs were clear. The smirks when I mentioned my extra shifts. The sudden silence when I walked into a room. The way Anna stopped pretending she was poor. A new phone, new clothes, and weekend trips. I wanted to believe it was a coincidence until I saw the paper. It was on my father's desk, partially covered by a stack of mail. The house title had my sister's name, printed clearly in bold where mine should have been. I didn't touch it. I didn't confront them. I just took a picture of it. That night I didn't cry. I just opened my laptop. Revenge wouldn't be a single moment. It would be a series of actions that I would do slowly and carefully so they wouldn't see the trap until they were already in it. The first step was the accounts. Over the years, I had taken over paying most of the household. Bills to make things easier for them. This meant I had access to their bank accounts, utility bills, and insurance. I changed all the bills to be sent as paper mail. Then I stopped the automatic payments for anything in my name. They wouldn't feel it at first, but the quiet damage had started. The second step was the mortgage history. I got every receipt, transfer, and email that proved my payments for the past 5 years. I had proof that I had carried the burden, that I wasn't just a renter. I sent everything to my lawyer, the one they didn't know I had. The third step was my sister. She was in a private graduate program that was partly paid for with family money. That money, thanks to my overpayments on the mortgage, technically included my money. I called the school's billing office, pretending to be her assistant, and confirmed the payment schedule. Then I called the bank and quietly closed the joint account, where those tuition payments came from. The payment deadline was 3 weeks away. I marked my calendar. 3 weeks later, it began. First came the late notices for utilities, insurance, and the car my father loved to show off. Then the emails from the school. My sister's enrollment was at risk because of a missed payment. Then my lawyer sent a formal letter to my parents demanding they repay my contributions or I would file a lawsuit for fraud. The morning it all happened, my phone rang before the sun came up. My mother, then my father, then my sister. I didn't answer. At 8:40 a.m., the school sent the final withdrawal notice to my sister. I knew because she forwarded it to me with one simple text. What did you do? I waited until that night to call. She answered on the first ring, her voice shaking with anger. You're ruining everything, she yelled. No, I replied calmly. I'm just getting what is owed to me. You can't just... I paid for that house, I said. 5 years of my life. You think you can take it without a punishment? Think again. She went silent. I could almost hear her realizing that the tuition, the utilities, the insurance, all of it had been a lifeline I had just cut. By the next week, my parents were running around, selling off furniture, borrowing money from relatives, anything to fix the problems. But every time they tried, they found another problem because I had made sure of it. They had signed for that house without reading the fine print, the lien I had placed months earlier when I updated the mortgage paperwork. This meant they couldn't sell, refinance, or even legally give it away without paying my claim first. They had trapped themselves. The final meeting happened 2 months later. I was sitting in the diner where I now worked one job. My other 2 jobs were no longer necessary. They came into my booth, their faces pale and tight. You're tearing this family apart, my mother said. No, I replied, stirring my coffee. You did that when you sold me. What lesson did you learn from this story? Please let me know in the comments.